What's going on, guys? So I wanted to kind of get away from the daily shop life in these videos. I wanted to change it up a little bit. I wanted to show you guys a little bit of what I deal with, and I'm sure, because I've talked to other tuners before, what other tuners deal with as well. This is going to be along the lines of, I don't know if we'll call it Dyno Ready, but we at least get 2 phone calls a day where guys say their car's dyno ready and they're not dyno ready. So ultimately what I want these videos to do is help you guys, whether you're bringing it here for a tune or you're bringing it elsewhere, help you guys get your car 100% ready for a dyno tune, no matter where you go. The other goal for these videos is going to be to help you guys diagnose maybe an issue that you're having with your car, or just kind of giving you a little bit of insight. And maybe you'll watch these videos and you'll be like, I never thought about that, or I never looked into that, or maybe your car's doing something similar as a car in these videos. So by no means are these videos a call out. It's nothing like that. It's more so just to show guys what I myself as a tuner deal with on a daily basis, and really never know what you're in for sometimes when it comes to cars that are going on the dyno. I've done pre-inspection videos beforehand, show you guys kind of what I find underneath the car, but this one's going to go a little bit more in depth before a car actually makes it on the dyno. So hopefully that was clear, and if you guys got questions or comments, feel free to comment below. If you're looking for a dyno checklist that I'm going to probably be talking about a lot in these videos, shoot us an email. We'll send you a dyno checklist. It's free, and as I said, maybe you're on a whole different side of the earth. Maybe you're in Greece. We got some customers that are over in Greece, and maybe you want to make your tuner, your local tuner's life a little bit easier. I'm sure he would be thankful in that sense. And that's about it. So hopefully you guys enjoy. What's going on, guys? So I'm going to do a quick video here, and this is just going to kind of help the masses. So we have, if you're coming for a dyno, we have a dyno checklist. You can also email us, and we'll send it to you. A lot of basic stuff. You see one of the top things is check engine light. If you got a check engine light on, has something to do with the tune, as you can see, and it could be disabled. That's not a big deal. If you're curious on, hey, my check engine light's on, is this okay? Well, shoot us a message and we'll let you know. This car actually has a check engine light on for the ELD, which stands for electronic load detection, or detector, whatever you want to call it, and it senses if there is a wiring issue. Now, the other stuff on here too, there's a lot of tips, notes, about 4 or 5 pages. As I was saying with the ELD, one thing I noticed underneath is the O2 sensor is frayed, and I don't know if it's something like that, but before a car goes on the dyno, I do a once over as it's in the air, just to make sure everything looks good. And this car is dripping oil, which some customers will ask me, hey, my car's dripping 1 or 2 drips of oil, is that okay? This car's dripping oil pretty decently though. You could see the whole under carriage of the car, the cross member, oil back here, is leaking. It's leaking on this side too. So at this point, I'm gonna have to stay on top of the oil, checking that regularly in between the dyno. Just another kind of curveball in the mix that, as a tuner, I shouldn't have to focus on oil leaks like that, or any tuner. The other thing, as it's up in the air, I'm going to go over the suspension, make sure I look at all the bolts, make sure I don't see anything out of the norm really quick. We're not doing a full shakedown. This is just more so like a safety kind of ish. The other thing too, as we start going up above, and I'm going to try to get the camera to focus, and I'm going to try to stick it in between the sway bar, but you see the VTEC solenoid over there. Not only do we got a lot of wiring stuff going on, but it's leaking a good amount of oil. That is all oil up there that you see. And then as you come down here, the other thing that we're looking for is exhaust leaks. So if you look all the way up here, the bottom of the exhaust manifold, you can see the black soot. and I'm trying to get the camera to focus. Not only that, it's leaking oil up there too. So you can see the exhaust soot dripping down. Anything that's before the actual O2 sensor that my dyno is going to read the air fuels, an exhaust leak is going to throw off the air fuel reading. Depending on how bad the exhaust leak is, I can't perfect the tune like it should be. The wideband is going to be reading different air fuels because it's sensing the exhaust leak. That's a major issue, big issue. The other thing is this car is boosted. If you look all the way up there, okay, perfect, the camera focused. That's the downpipe off the turbo. If you look at the very bottom, you can see another exhaust leak. So we're fighting 2 exhaust leaks now, which is not going to be good for the tune. No way I'm going to be able to get the air fuels 100%. At this point, I'm going to see if the customer wants me to go through with the tune, and I'm going to tell them those need to be addressed. I can't finalize and perfect my tune 100% with those leaks. With that being said, too, you know, now's the time for me to look at anything else I could look at while I'm under the car. Checking the suspension over here. Cotter pin on the lower ball joint. Don't see any brake leaks. Don't see anything weird like that. I'll start looking for other issues, making sure all the clamps and the couplers are on good. We asked this customer if he did a boost leak test. He said he did not. It's encouraged to do a boost leak test, and we have a video about how to do that. So I am going to go alert the customer, see what he wants me to do. If he wants me just to tune it as is, well, as I'm going to tell him, I'm going to do my best. But with the exhaust leaks, there's no way I'm going to get this thing how it should be. And fixing these exhaust leaks, because it's a turbo car, not going to be fun. And I'm trying to get, there you go. Let's see if my camera, there you go. You can see the oil literally dripping off the exhaust manifold too. We got oil drips, we got exhaust leaks. Not good. So I'm in another car that was dyno ready, somewhat. Customer came in, he told me that it was just running rough. And I said, you know, as long as it's running, no big deal. He scheduled a tune for today, and he got it towed down here. When he showed up, he said the car would not start anymore. Now, I'm not calling him a liar by any means, and I'm not calling people out. This is a showcase more so what I deal with, and I'm sure other tuners deal with on a daily basis. So this car ultimately I thought was going to be, he's on RDX 410 injectors. I thought, okay, you know, no big deal. I'll calibrate the tune. We'll get it running right. We'll check some basic stuff. Well, there's a couple big issues here. And number one, and disregard my keys over there, when you get a K-Pro, they have a little sticker that says remove and put a map on there. That sticker wasn't removed, so I had to clean it up and I had to put my own map on there. Now, I'm not saying that was the issue, but now what I encourage people to do, if you have a laptop and this software is free from Honda, sitting in the car, number one, the car's not building any fuel pressure at all. He's got a gauge. And if you listen carefully, I don't know what the noise is, but listen, I'm going to stop talking here. Can you hear it? I don't know if you can pick it up on camera, but it goes along with the fuel pump trying to prime, but there's no pressure. The gauge is reading nothing. But anyways, what I always encourage people to do, if you got K-Pro and you got a laptop, well, you can see we have it open right now, and you could use it as a diagnostic tool. So right now we're connected to the car. And TPS, when I step on the throttle, no reading. Not a big deal. Honda, the TPS and the map sensor can be switched around. This happens a lot. I went over there, make sure it wasn't switched around, and it's not. But here's the other thing now, look. Now there's the map sensor, and it's reading -29 vacuum. Car is off. Watch what happens when I try to crank it. It's reading 11 pounds of boost while cranking. Now, if I was able to have a car build that kind of boost while cranking, well, I'm probably onto something. I should be doing other things. So, as I was going back and saying, and why I'm showcasing this, and it's not to call people out, but it's to show people what I deal with on a daily basis. I don't want to say tuners. Other tuners can chime in if they want to comment. But this car was ultimately scheduled for tomorrow to be tuned. I have two tunes for tomorrow, including this one. So it was going to be, this was going to be in the middle of the line. I'd be working the base map out and get it started. But now it turns into a diagnostic issue, which it's not a bad thing for us to diagnose it, but we have a very crammed schedule. We're booked. We have openings, but everything has to be done with a fine-tooth comb or pencil, whatever the saying is. So we know certain cars that are coming in for certain work. We have certain people designated to it. This one is going to be more than a simple, the fuel pump's not working. We got multiple issues. So this one has to fall back in line. I'm not sure when I'm going to get to it. And the other car, too, that I'm doing these videos on, the first car in this video series, when I was looking at the exhaust leak, I just made the decision that I wasn't going to do the tune. I told the customer, I said, you know, hey, my tune's not going to be exact. If it's not going to be exact, I don't want to put my name on it. It's that simple. He said not a problem. You know, he understood. He said not a problem. He wants us to fix the exhaust leak, so we got that in line. We're going to fix the exhaust leak and go from there. I noticed the secondary O2 sensor, the wires were frayed. I don't know if I captured that in the video. I don't recall. But I told him, too, the car's going to be up in the air. We'll replace that, no charge. Not a huge deal. It's going to take us seconds, as long as it ain't seized. So this is just, like I said, I'm going to keep it short. This is kind of an inside to see what I deal with on a daily basis. And as I said, too, I'm not the only one. I know other tuners deal with this. You know, the big saying that we hear a lot, phone calls, emails, the car is dyno ready. We get that a lot. We have a dyno checklist. I showed that. Email us. Don't be scared to ask questions. Open up the Honda program or whatever program you're running, Haltech, Megasquirt. Look at something. If something seems a little unfamiliar, send me a data log. Send me a screenshot. I'm here to help you, as in you got to help us. If I give you a dyno checklist and I ask you some specific questions when you show up, I'm going to be able to tell usually if you're lying about going over the dyno checklist. We get that a lot too. I don't know if it's an ego thing. Not everybody knows everything. We're here to help. But, you know, I remember an occasion, it says, one occasion I asked the guy if he checked the dyno list and checklist, and he said, yeah, he read it over, checked everything off. And the first thing I saw when I walked up to the car, it had like 3 lug nuts on the front wheel, and the back had 2. Well, of course, it was a front-wheel drive car, so not a huge big deal, not a big deal about the back wheels, but the front, you know, come on. Cars are going to see upwards of 100 miles per hour plus on the dyno. We got to be safe. Not only with the safe with the car 100%, got to be safe in the work environment too. So that being said, I'm going to go back. I'm going to jump onto my next car. Got to see where I'm at and what I got going on, and I'll be back, and hopefully I'm straying a little bit from the normal videos that I've been doing. And you know, once again too, like I said, I'm not calling people out, and this ain't, you know, me complaining. This is ultimately the job, I guess you can say. It is what it is. It has its high points, don't get me wrong, but days like this are a little bit frustrating, thinking that I'm going to have this car on the dyno. And actually, I finished my tune early today, so I was actually going to put it on a day before. I get to keep up on my schedule, maybe have a small break, where you've been watching my other videos, I've been taking my mom out to eat. I haven't been able to do that the last two or 3 weeks. You know, I was hoping maybe I would have a half a day tomorrow where I could get to take her out, but I don't know, we'll see. Busy schedule. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this little insight.